Welcome back, folks, to the K.O.E. Nation. Today we're doing things a little bit differently. There was a point in the very recent past where your King of Extreme, moi, and the one and only Tony G came together for a collaboration on even more reviews. But on a scant few of these videos, the video quality was not 100 absolute percent through every second of the video. There was a few moments where the video got a little choppy, and I know that is depriving you of precious seconds and pixels where you can see this gorgeous mug, and it is an outcry, it is an outrage, but we will persevere on, folks. So I figured I would just give this little preface as to why when you watch this video, there will be moments, mere moments, where the audio quality is perfect. So you will get every single beautiful sound and note from the summer sounds that are my voice. But there will be a few moments where you will be denied the full view of this gorgeous mug. I know, I'm sorry, folks, I'm sorry. But I figured for the sake of the world, for the sake of everybody, I would release these reviews to you anyways. So, folks, without further ado, let's get to the show. Welcome, one and all, to another premium spirits review here on the K.O.E. Nation. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your King of Extreme, and also I am joined by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe, folks.
We are here to try something a little new here. Something Tony picked up on your journeys and trying to bring me over to the Speysides again, I see, Tony. Why don't you tell the folks at home what we got here?
This is Glenfiddich Project XX. Glenfiddich has become one of my favorite brands in the Scotch world, and this is a unique one. This is
It's a close second for mine.
See, there you have it. I mean, it's obviously a contender then.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one. This is where I believe 20 different blenders and distillers came together to craft this unique experience in whiskey. It's got multiple different flavor profiles. I believe casking and aging. According to this, they created the first single malt Scotch whiskey finish in India. Oh, no, excuse me. That's the other one we will be doing is second I get my hands on it.
The pale ale?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a fan of the Jameson IPA cask.
This is the XX that has like bourbon and port barrels and a bunch of, at least that's what I've heard.
See, they've got the nose profile. I didn't want to get too deep into that because I like a little bit of a surprise, especially for something as unique as this. Because
okay, I'll...
The nose, classic Glenfiddich fruitiness with hints of apple, blossom, summer fruits, ripe pear, beautiful balance of oak, rich creamy vanilla, barley, sugar, and a hint of licorice and subtle spice. The taste, candy floss sweetness, rich vanilla oakiness, deep and mellow, initial sweetness, complemented by unusual notes of toasted almonds, cinnamon, and a hint of crisp tannin. My God, this is going to be beautiful. Okay. Hey. Yeah, so on this one, they, oh my gosh, it was small vatting. It was matured in everything from pork pipes to virgin bourbon barrels. I know you were curious about that. This has a lot of potential to be very complex, very unique. Hopefully, we agree with their complex pamphlet as well.
Sounds like they're trying to be competitive with some of my favorite Highlands. I'm not going to say which, but sounds like they're trying.
I think we know.
Yes. So, well, T, I will allow you the first pour, good sir.
All right. I've been looking forward to this for far too long. Interesting. All right. Tell me if you need more.
No, that's plenty.
All right.
I like it. It's got a honey emerald to the color immediately.
It does have a very nice look, but it actually, it looks like there's a lot going on in there. There's a bit of a lava lamp effect.
Candied apple?
Oh, yeah. Definitely that fruit orchard.
Like that's been bitten into once.
Yes, freshness. Wow, very sweet note.
There's a sugar candied sweetness in there that I can't quite place.
Oh, wow. Yeah, if the nose is any indication.
I think this.
Well, bottoms up. Oh, wow.
Sweet and spicy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. And very nice lingering spiciness. Oh, yeah. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
Yep. It's nice.
I'm a big fan.
The heat's a little much for me. It's too adjacent to mintiness, but it's hot. So it's like a peppermint.
It does have a bit of a peppermint undertone when you first sip on it. And yeah, that lingering spice is a bit of a peppermint.
But there's a sweet.
That's probably why I like it so
There's
much.
a sweet on the front. But marvelous.
Yeah, that's really nice. That is really, really nice.
Almost like a candy cane.
Yeah, I would agree. I definitely know what you mean. Yeah, that's very nice.
I got a feeling we're gonna both be a little all over the place on the ratings. On
I agree. It's very unique, and I'm surprised so many blenders.
But it does still have that honeyed Speyside.
Yes, I'm surprised so many blenders coming together to do this. It was able to be so mellow and not overbearing on a strength level. Yeah, I'm really liking it. It's very cool.
Yeah, I thought folks might just appreciate a little bit of
close-up
view here.
There's a lot going on here, but definitely a very cool. This is almost I could almost say this is a summertime Scotch because of the freshness and the crispness to it.
I would disagree. I'd say it's a wintertime Scotch because of that.
I don't know if the spiciness is at the level of a wintertime Scotch.
Well, you got to remember, I'm not very big on I like spice on my food, not my Scotch, but that's just me.
Sugar and spice and everything nice. I'm a fan. I'm loving this.
This would be a good after dinner drink if you just eaten a sweet dessert.
Absolutely.
To counteract it.
Definitely.
Like if you're wanting to kind of get back into a discussion mode, you're going to do something after dinner and you just had a very sweet dessert. So look, T, let's get into the now. First of all, I'm curious. You're a bigger fan of Speyside than I.
Okay.
I won't give a grade on this, but we do 5-star scales. On a 5-star scale as a Speyside. Oh, master of the Speysides, how would you rate this one?
I would give this probably a 3.5.
3.5 as a Speyside. Okay. Yep. Interesting. Now, we get into the different scalings. So there will be 4 scales for this Scotch. As a single malt, as a Scotch, as a whiskey, and then it's shelving.
Okay.
And then a secret question, which I think you might know what that secret question is, but for those who don't know, stay tuned. So, as a single malt Scotch.
As a single malt, I think it took a lot to create this, obviously, the added efforts of multiple people. And I think they found something really nice here. It's very different than what you might expect, which is very nice. It really appeals to my flavor palette, but I can see why it wouldn't appeal to many.
Like you understand, like me, I like them like kind of more buttery, oily, and sweet and fruity.
Yeah, this one's not oily or very buttery, so I can understand that.
So I'm gonna say, so what would you give this as a single malt?
As a single malt, I'm going to give it a 3.25 because it doesn't really scream single malt Scotch.
I'm going to agree with you to an extent, but I'm going to be a little more generous in single malt and give it 3.5.
Okay.
Because to me, and maybe it's just because of the branding that I like, a single malt should be headed by one master distiller, and it's one distiller's vision. That's my ideal vision of a single malt, if you will.
Yeah, the group effort's interesting, but it definitely probably hurt the ultimate potential.
That's going to reflect later, the group effort. But as a single malt, I could understand why some single malt purists wouldn't be like, but if you were to pour this for a lover of single malts, they're not going to be underserved.
No, absolutely not.
So that's why I'm giving it 3.5.
Okay.
So I'm going to be a little more generous than you. Now, as a Scotch, putting it up against all the Scotches, all the blendeds, all the what have yous from the island of Scotland.
I'm going to give this a 4.
Why is that?
I think it's just very appealing, especially to maybe somebody who's not overtly familiar with many different Scotches. I could.
Now that it's sat out for a minute, there's kind of a meatiness to the nose.
Oh, I kind of felt that to begin with, but
I never
it
really
went
caught
away
it.
when I started smelling the orchard fruit. But yeah, a bit.
Okay, like now imagine if you're going to slice up apples and you were going to bake those over like a glazed ham.
Yep.
Is that?
Oh yeah, I can see what you mean. Absolutely.
Which I would also even recommend throwing in a shot of this into that very recipe.
Nice.
Just glaze it over it halfway through the baking, through the ovening process. But
yeah, I'm going to go with 4 because I think you could introduce somebody with this, and this would be a very non-intrusive way to start someone off in the Scotch world. It's a collaboration, so it's kind of all over the place in terms of what you're going to expect, but it would not be offensive to somebody who's just kind of starting out. And to those who are seasoned, I think this is a unique enough experience that it's not going to ring all the same old bells, so it's kind of a different experience. So I think it kind of hits on both sides, experience and beginners.
I'm going to slightly disagree with you on the other side. I'm going to give this 3.75 as a Scotch because I don't think I would introduce somebody to Scotch with this.
Okay.
In fact, I'm certain I wouldn't.
Okay.
This would be Scotch 3, 4, or 5 in the list. And they would. It would be different offerings from the Glenfiddich distillery that I would choose first.
That's probably fair.
Like Glenfiddich 15, amazing. Like Glenfiddich 18 is almost spoiling. So Glenfiddich 21, that's just you're being silly now. So I'm gonna give this 3.75.
That's fair.
Now, as a this is a whiskey that you could just let sit out, come back to.
In fact, I might do that. Very nice.
As a whiskey.
As a whiskey, I'm going to go 3.75. I think you're onto something. You could use this in a glaze, but I don't know that I would want to cocktail this. And I don't even know if I would want to dilute this over the rocks or with some water. I think it's about perfect neat.
I am going to disagree with you. This is a 4-star whiskey. It'd be good for any kind of, like you said, cooking. Be a lot of good cooking you could use with this. Also, Scotch and soda. This would be really good.
I think the sweetness is already there. You don't need to.
Well, the heat and the spice will stand out in the soda. That's what would make this work. Now you're gonna have to get your proportions.
It would
right.
blend. It would blend well, but it would have almost blend too well that you wouldn't even be tasting the whiskey anymore, which is either good or bad depending on what your preference is.
Depending on the night, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this one would make an amazing Scotch and soda.
It would go good with cola.
That will have to be our second take on this. See how it goes with Scotch and soda. But yeah, that's me for 4-star. Now shelving. Here's an interesting one because I am not as loyal to the Glenfiddich distillery as you. I have Glenfiddich on my middle shelf. It's not necessarily just top shelf for me, unlike you, which pretty much even anything from 12 to 21 is pretty much top shelf, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's probably about right. I really like this. I was actually thinking, how will I fit this on my top shelf if I want to put it there? And I would probably move my Glenfiddich 14 down and move this up if I needed to.
Right, you have the 14, don't you?
Yes.
And that's just the bourbon cask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing too.
I would probably move that down. I'd move this up, but if
Glenfiddich Distillery, this Tony G, lover of Speyside and Glenfiddich in particular, puts this above your 14-year. One with no age statement. No age statement whiskey beats a 14-year-old whiskey from the same distillery, according to one Tony G. Me, Tony, this is going to be tough. My top shelf is awful full.
It is indeed.
I've got Glenfiddich 18 up there.
Yep.
I've got Glenfiddich 15 up there.
Yep.
I'm afraid this is going to have to be a middle shelf for me.
All right.
Now, let me ask you something, Tony. if this bottle were to run empty, first of all, what was the price you paid for it, and would you seek another bottle?
I got this at a steal for $50.
Oh, that's a for this, that's a steal.
I've seen it go for as much as $100. I think most of the time you're going to see it in the $60 to $70 range. I got it at a steal. It was the absolute last bottle on the shelf in this particular store, so I wouldn't expect to see it at that price again anytime soon.
At that price, I would probably,
Yeah, at that price, it's worth every penny.
Okay, so assuming 70, though.
Yeah, let's assume 70, 75 at the most is probably what you should pay for this. At 75, I don't know that I would jump all over it. I would probably consider it pretty heavily at 60.
I'm going to say the same, but in terms of if I would pick up a bottle of this, my answer would be no, because I would grab the bottle of Indian Pale Ale
that's
first,
my only
so we
hang-up.
could compare these two next to each other. So if I happen to see a bottle of Glenfiddich Indian Pale Ale, that's pretty much...
Or the Fire and King.
I got a feeling that one's going to be even spicier. I don't know if I'm going to like that.
That's hit or miss from what I've told. So
you're either going to love it or hate it, and I got a feeling we know a couple of folks who would absolutely love that stuff. But like I said, it's going to be hit or miss on that one. So you would probably refill this bottle, but it depends on the price. Okay, which is that's fair. Yeah,
because there's so many others.
75
like to pick up as well.
Yeah, at 75, there's a lot of really good bottles I could pick up.
Yeah.
But at 50 to 60.
Yeah.
That's, this one, I might be having quite a few scotch and sodas with it. And again, I know you don't agree, but Tony, we're doing a second take on this one at some point. We're going to try it with the classic scotch and soda. So, folks, if you have a bottle of this near you, if you have it anywhere around Project XX, and you are interested in exploring the world of whiskey or the world of Scotch whiskey in particular, I'd say this one's definitely worth your time. Anything from the Glenfiddich distillery has been worthwhile from what I've seen. So even that fire one you're describing, I might like it more than I might like any other spicy whiskey. Anyways.
True.
So definitely check that out, folks. And also, like, share, subscribe right here to the K.O.E. Nation, because you know it's the right thing to do. And as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, please like, share, subscribe to K.O.E. Nation. Head on over to Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast and like, share, subscribe to our craziness. And then check us out when we're on Big Bucket Entertainment and the Dog and Chicken Show. But this has been our review of Glenfiddich XX Project, an amazing Scotch whiskey from an amazing distillery. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner,
Tony fucking G. Thanks for watching.